everybody, and welcome back. My name is Sue, and I'm from OML Embroidery. The man behind the curtain is Dawn. Hello. So today we are going to be doing a simply, absolutely gorgeous design. I had such a hard time picking out which design I wanted to work on. But I wanted to do one with the biggest flower. So this is in my 8x8 hoop. I didn't do the big one because it'll take forever to do. I did two. I was planning on doing more, but I spent the entire afternoon, like 6 hours, setting up the cameras. So there we go. Isn't this beautiful though?
It is beautiful.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dawn kept stopping by and saying, wow, wow, wow. Awesome. So, hello to everyone. Hello, everyone's here. Any new people, welcome, for sure.
Chime in and say hello if you're new.
Yep, we love new people. I'm going to talk to you guys about the colors that I came up with for this and different ideas that I had. So I'm going to place these right here. Can we still see them?
Yep.
For the majority. Okay, so these are the colors that I picked. So this fabric is the middle part. This is the outside, and the yellow is the highlight. So this is happens to be a half yard bundle, but it would be the same as a fat quarter bundle. So it's all the line in different colors. So the purple matches the purple, and I thought that was nice. And I could either have highlighted green, red, or yellow just to make everything flow. And I thought, you know, yellow's a beautiful color. There's some bright blue in it. So that's how I came up with that. And I really like it. Now, thread, I tried to match almost perfectly the colors. Now, I needed 2 greens. The yellow I had a bit of a hard time with because it's kind of bright, but I didn't want a bright lemony yellow on it. So I chose kind of like a more of a gold color. And I like the way it turns out. And it looks great beside it there. So,
Mom says good morning.
Good morning, Mom. So the thing is that I can do, let me show you. Let me just flip through here. I was kind of messing around with it. This is where the fun is, guys. You can do a whole lot of things. So I could have done this just the same. Now, it doesn't quite match because it's more of a pink, but we could exchange one of them for the pink that goes with it. See how that works? Isn't that cool?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
So it could have been this combination with, let's see, and pull out the dark blue. There's a fair amount of that. So here's the dark blue. And it's really cool how it works. This one would also look good, the dark blue. So that is how I picked my fabrics. Now let me show you what is in this bundle. Now this bundle is, I've had it for a long time. It's boundless fabrics, and it didn't say a line on it, but I got it from Blueprint a long time ago. So yeah. So I picked these ones. Now they're all busy patterns, so you have to be a little bit careful with it. But look at these two. Isn't that beautiful together? You could do that in just about anything. Add a green. This is another fabric that you can have 3 colors to match. So pink, blue, and yellow. So that yellow maybe, that blue, and a pink if you had to put more in there. Then we get to the greens. Oh, but I love this pale blue. And then this is more greens and a purple. So this purple matches this purple perfectly, which is awesome. Now, in the original one, we have this red burgundy color, and here are all the reds. So we have this orange pill design, we have flowers, and then we have the big ugly flowers. which I actually did use on mine, believe it or not, but I just cut a little circle out of the red part because I wanted it to match. So then we're down here. This is a dark blue one, but lots of yellow and pink. There's the light blue, yellow, and pink. There's a green that's super easy to add in. And then pink. Pink, blue, and yellow. Where did we see that? I'm pretty sure we saw it on some triangles. Look how well that matches. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Blue, pink, and yellow. So even though they're busy, maybe put a solid color in between or not. Can we see them well enough, Dawn?
I think so.
Because it's pretty cool. It took me a little bit to figure out what I wanted to do. I really wanted this purple. So that's basically what I started with, is the purple, and, kind of expanded on from there. I think also the red would look really good as the background, but I kind of wanted not pastel shades, but kind of. Oops. Sorry, Judy Quilts. Judy Quilt says, Sue, you're killing me. I have to go fabric shopping again. Apologies. Apologies. But that's
You're
how...
not sorry.
I know. Not even in the slightest. But it's cool how you can match up stuff that you don't think looks good would look good. So this was my second choice. So the orange, and then this would be the second part, and then the yellow. So if I was making a big quilt out of this, you could either do it all the same and then you move the blocks around, or you could make it ombre. You have enough fabric here to make it ombre. So go from, the purples and yellows to the oranges, and then blues, and then pinks, right? See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You could go all the way down because you have so many of the colors. And I chose black for the background because I wanted the colors to pop. And that's exactly how it looks, and I love it. So all the colors except for the greens are in there. So there's more than one way of setting this up. Let's do a quarter turn. Quarter turn. Well, you could do it that way too. There's nothing wrong with that. You could do it this way. You could also make like a table runner out of it too. Isn't that pretty? And if you had two more, it would be the centerpiece would be the flowers. And then the ones that you put on would make the circle over here. There's so many ways you can do this. I absolutely love it. Now, what we're going to be doing today is the flower, because I want you guys to get this technique down pat. It's a little bit fiddly trimming, but it's not bad. So what I did was figure out the size of fabrics that I needed, and I cut them out. So I've got enough for everything. So the yellow is the first one to go down. And then I'm going to work on my purples, and you don't need a whole lot. This is like a 2.5 by 2.5 square. I didn't precision cut them or anything. Can you put 4 together and make a circle? Yes, you could make a circle because, and this is why I chose this one, because of this floral line here would make a circle. And I just really like that. So this fabric is what I used for the center because I wanted to bring out the burgundy color from this fabric. So in case you're wondering, however, blue, yellow, green, and red. So you could match this up quite nicely. So if there aren't any questions, then we can get started on making this because it's cool. But I think just about any fabrics, you could use solid colors on this. It would be nice. Bright colors. There's so many. Are you doing the 5x7 size? No, I'm doing my 8x8. It goes into the 8x8 size. So I think that's A or double A. I don't remember. I'll have to look on my machine when I get to it. It goes all the way down to 5x7 and all the way up to the big hoop, which is the 10x16.
It's a
Big hoop. What I did though, and I was going to stitch it out for you guys just to show you different things you can do with these blocks. Yes, I'm doing the 8x8. I took the big one, so the AAA, and I removed all the stitches, like I deleted them or you could skip them on your machine, and just left the flower. And I thought I would make like matching coasters out of it. So I just put a square around it and then I would stitch it. I'll do it and then put some pictures up for you guys. Big would take hours. I know this one actually takes quite a bit of time. You work hard for the flowers and then you can relax for the rest of it. And I'll show you how I was a little bit frugal with the little pieces of everything. But it is a stunning design and it is an amazing technique. So hopefully you guys will love it as much as I do. It sure beats paper piecing, like actual paper piecing. You could. Leah says, I have a Solaris, but I've not used my really big hoop yet. It intimidates me. Nah, don't be scared of it. Just make sure you have plenty of room, including where you are sitting. Ask me how I know, because when I put the big hoop on and it moved all the way to the top, I was surprised how far it stuck out. I'm like, move back. So yeah, it's just the same as any other hoop. You just get to do really freaking big stuff. I have that hoop and then I have a dime hoop that size, the magnetic hoops for quilting. So you can get big chunks of a quilt done. So awesome. It took me a while to use the big hoop. Yeah, it's just big. That's all it is. It's just big and kind of clumsy and kind of it takes a little bit to get used to it as it pins you to your chair. Exactly. That almost happened. Fortunately, now I have enough space, but the way my desks were last time, I was like, whoa, okay. I had to stand up. I was sitting on a stool. I had to stand up and get the hackaroonie out of the way. So, without much further ado, it was a great introduction. Did some fabric color theory, how I would do a big quilt, picked my thread colors, and let's go over to the machine, Don. Okay, so I've started a little bit here because this is just meandering stitches here. And I pulled the purple for the meandering stitches, the quilting stitches, because I want that to show up the most. I think maybe the yellow would have looked good as well, but I like the purple. The purple was my focal point. So I've got my 8x8 hoop, and I'm using cutaway stabilizer and batting, and I stitched that down and I trimmed it so it's out of the seam allowance. And then this is just black fabric. It's not even that nice. Just plain black, no swirlies, no designs on it.
The stitching made it really nice.
Yeah, and I stitched that down and then I did the meandering in purple. It looks fantastic. And the outline for the space of what we're going to do. Now, for the other designs that I stitched, I just left the purple in my machine to do all of this stitching. But for you guys to be able to see it, I changed it to white. So hopefully you will be able to see the white on all the fabric. So we're going to start off with the yellow parts. And I was surprised that it was cut, but you know, it's also cool. You could leave it if you want, but I try to do everything properly. Bobbin checked, full bobbin before I started. We had a new needle from a couple weeks ago, and I haven't used my machine much, so we're good on the needle. 7511, I don't change it. Speed, I don't pay attention to. The machine can do that thinking for me. And let's get started. So this is just regular applique. So the first step, Lynn, what's the first step? Lynn's shouting it at the TV. Placement. So let's do our placement line in the white that you guys can see. So I am going to break my own rules today, and I will be doing some of the trimming at the hoop, because otherwise it'll be way too many back and forths, just for the little bits of trimming that I have to do. So yeah, awesome. The colors of the flowers on the machine screen would look great on a black background. Yeah, they're blues. If you go to AnitaGoodesign.com, you can see this design. You see the package, it's on the first page, and you can see the colors that they chose. They did a lot of blues for theirs, and it looks beautiful. So yeah, I don't bother changing the colors on this machine because I don't need to. I know in my mind what I'm gonna do, so I just don't take the time to do it. I don't know if that sounds weird or bad, but on the multi-needles you have to change all the colors so it knows what it's doing. So yeah. So that is our placement. Now I'm gonna put my yellow down. We want to make sure everything's covered, and it's more than covered, without being, you know, frugal or anything. Now we're going to stitch it down, and it's going to do the same thing but stitch it twice. So yeah, that yellow looks very yellow. It doesn't pick up enough, I think, on the colors of it, but that's okay. Ooh, Isabel, thank you very much. Thank you. So this is the easy part, and the folded fabric, once you get rolling on it, is pretty easy too. You guys will like it. I had a lot of fun making these. I can't wait to see them sewn together, and I'm going to do 4, and I may or may not do the sashing. I'm going to see how the 4 looks. So this is number 3. So another idea I had was that you could use, remember when I did the sweet pea design in grays? You could do this design in grays. I mean, it would take, I love the bright colors and everything, but I think a greeny gray for the flowers, black or gray background, 3 shades of gray for the flower. I think that would be a statement. Just something completely different that crossed my mind. I thought it would be awesome. Okay, we are going to go back to the desk for this one because it's a bit tricky.
And thank you, Katie Quilt, and thank you, Jill.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, Jill. Hello, Jill. Glad you could make it. So, back to the desk, Dawn. So, this one's just a little bit fiddly, because, and the rest of the trimming is easy, but you have to get right in here, sort of thing. So it takes a minute. I would advise just, you know, going to the door and going to the desk. So just take your time. And then we're going to start on the folded fabric. So when you're doing folded fabric, the first piece is always appliqué, and then you do the folding. So just so everyone can keep that in mind, that's how it goes. So we're going to, the first purple part is just simply appliqué, and then we're going to fold the rest, and it's just gorgeous.
Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you, everyone. We appreciate any donations. We just roll back into the channel, and you know, I could buy more designs, I can buy more fabric. We just bought new cameras, which are absolutely fantastic. I'm really happy with them. Now that we got them going, we had to make a few changes and sort out all the plugins. It took me hours. I was kind of mentally exhausted yesterday. It was, geez.
It was a trying day for you.
It kind of was, but I managed to get it going, which I usually do if I put my brain work to it. And we didn't have any issues this morning, and we were happily sitting around kind of waiting for time to start, which is exactly precisely what we want. We want to get ready early and just wait, right, Dawn?
That's right.
Now, there's
Lorelai's asking, how close are you cutting?
just the normal closeness. There's a couple spots I missed that are too far out, but remember, we're going to have nice thick satin stitches over it, so you don't have to be too perfectionist about it. But always do a good job trimming. You wouldn't want your fabric to show through in the end. So, all right, that's done. Let's go. Let's see. I think these ones work. Let's go back to the machine, Dawn. I moved my desk. I thought I had it tagged down. And we are going to do these two little hearts over here, and they're just applique. And I'm going to trim them later because they're not, literally not in the way of anything. So I kind of did this on the first one because first two, because it was a lot of back and forth. And it was, whew, not exhausting, but exhausting, you know what I mean? So I cut my flower back fabric a little too big. And being frugal, I found that this works. It is a little bit of applique chicken, fabric chicken, but it's not too bad either. So you can cut yourself a new piece, or you can just live on the embroidery edge like I do and make it work for you. I'll cut this down a little bit. So little pieces come in handy. I think if you were doing a smaller version of this, I think your little pieces, you could also do like a scrap buster kind of quilt. I think that would look good. And I got that one. Yippee tie-eye. As I said, I'm going to trim them later. That is bright yellow, man. Uh-oh. Did you hear that clump? Yeah. Thank you. I can see what it was. So you got to put your foot up and it releases it, and I'm going to pull it through the thread, just kind of shred. And if it does it again, because I've experienced it a few times, if it does it again, I'm going to go ahead and change the needle because I have the feeling that something's getting caught on it. So, and we don't need to deal with that. So, fix it, and we should be good. If not, I'll change it. Yeah, that was close. Holy crap. That is about as close as it gets, Dawn. What do you think?
That's pretty close.
Whew. Whew. All right, it's going to move. And no, I'm not trimming it. I'm just going to cut this piece out. You just have to have it trimmed before the whole thing's done. So I just want to keep it out of the way. So what we're going to need for this, we're going to need 2 purple pieces and a flowery piece. So I'm just grabbing those, and I just kind of hacked everything out. So it's all there. Sarah says, phew. I know, that was actually really close. I was getting a little nervous. So the first part is going to be applique, and we're doing purple, flowers, and then purple. So I have that all ready. So that's the outline. I hope you guys can see it well enough with the white. Hopefully it should show up. And It overlaps the yellow quite a bit. So if you think you don't have enough room, you do. And it's applique because it's the first one. So we're just going to stitch it down. And there's no, hopefully, no chicken. So you see my piece is plenty big. And that's what we want. So for these ones, I'll do everything properly. And we'll go back to the desk to trim this, Don. And while we're at it, I can trim my hearts. So just trim like you normally would. If you have any big pieces that kind of stick out, trim them down so they don't show through. These flowers are outlined in purple, so, and then these are the flower buds, I guess, so that's why I did them yellow. But you could do them any color. Scrap busting. Now that would be really fun. Use the same thread colors and just use random, little pieces. It would be easy to do. I'm also thinking of using this as a table runner because I think it's beautiful.
It is.
Are there any questions moving forward?
There's another super chat from Susan Wee.
Oh, hi Susan
Thank you.
Weehee. Waves. Waves to Susan Weehee. Thank you very much. She'll wave back. It's our thing. We have a thing.
A thing.
A thing.
Yeah,
There we go. We don't want that part to show up. Okay, so good enough. You don't have to be, perfection. And Judy Quilt, I'm going to dust off all the things for you because there's a lot of little threads. All right, back to the machine. Okay, so now for the paper piecing / folded fabric part. And what we're going to do, I don't know if that's threaded or not. It was hard to see. So let's thread this first. Okay, now I can see that it's threaded. The first step is the outline. So it's going to show you where the whole thing is going to go, which is awesome. All right, so we are going to, when this stops, I'm going to bring this, make the screen bigger for you guys so you can see. I'm just going to zoom in there. So now you can see where it's stitching and you can see all the different lines here.
very well with my close-up.
Yeah, you can really see it. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. The colors are kind of different than what I'm doing, but you can see it. So the next step, let me show you that first. The next step here is a line. And that's when you know that it is folded fabric, when you have a line. I'll just leave it like this because I think we need to see the sides. Can we see the sides a little better, Don? Because I'm showing them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Zoom out. There we go.
Can we see?
Yep.
That it's a line?
It's hard. Yeah, you can see it. It's hard.
Is
to
it
see
worth it or
because-
no?
We can just make it out. I'm
Um,
looking at a small screen too, so
all right.
the
Well,
bigger one would be easier.
I'll do the bigger one there and I can point to you what it is we're doing. So, okay. I don't want to confuse you guys. So the next step is a line, and this is going to form our fold. So we're going to take our fabric face down in the opposite direction that you're folding. So I'm going to fold it over like this. So we have, instead of stitches on the outside, we have a folded line. And this is what gives it its look. So make sure your whole line is covered. And also make sure when you fold it that you're going to cover up everything that you need. And I try to get it, kind of close to the line, but you really don't want to go over. And I made sure I had Lots of space on this end, lots of space on that end. But this has to be wide enough so when you flip it, you cover everything. So yeah, now I placed it a bit crooked, but I have lots of room so it doesn't matter. And now, for the fun part, we're gonna flip it. And we're going to have such a nice crease here. Now, some people like to iron them down. You could tape them down if you want a nice flat line. I am not going to worry about it. Sometimes I just kind of put a little tension right there. But keep your fingers out of the way. And now what this is going to do is hold it down. So then I let go. That's fine. Look at that. So instead of having a line that you have to cover over with satin stitches, you have this, which is awesome. Isn't that cool?
I like it.
So I'm just going to do it at the desk here because it's just a quick trim. Now, you don't have to be that careful because I don't know if you noticed on the other parts that there's quite an overlap, like with the yellow. So I'm just doing it like this. And this will get covered up, maybe not that corner, but it'll get covered up. So placement, and we're going to do one more purple. Placement, and then this one is also folded fabric. So that means the whole center of it looks pieced, and it's just gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. So we're going to put our piece down. Again, making sure the line is covered this way. The fabric is face down, and then when we flip it, we have enough. And we do, so I'm good with that. That's why I pre-cut everything. It just makes it a lot faster and easier. So I didn't for my first one, but when I found a size that worked, I just cut them out. Not even precisely. I didn't spend any time on it, as you can see. But it just makes it easier. So fold it over. We're going to have a nice line. Kind of finger press it. I'm going to put a little tension, put a little tape. Don't do what I do. Keep your fingers way out of the way. Make sure if you do it like this, which you shouldn't be, don't put any drag on the hoop. So isn't that beautiful? Now that one is a bit puffy, but I love how it looks. I love how it looks, for sure. So I am gonna just pull this out and we're gonna trim in place. And that is one flower petal. But you see all the kind of rough trimming I did on these parts? It doesn't show. Now, before I do the satin stitches, I would probably go up and tidy up the outside edges. But until that time, I really don't have to worry about it a whole lot.
It's pretty with the fabric mix like that.
Isn't that beautiful?
Mm-hmm.
I just love the colors. So I liked it so much. Let's do it again. I'm going to get my fabric ready. And we are going to do it. Do it. How are the colors? Looks kind of bleached out. Do you want me to fix it?
A little bright.
It is a little bright. Can I fix it?
You might be able to.
If everybody doesn't mind holding on for 2 seconds. This is part of the awesome cameras that we got, is that I can fix the color. So Mevo Jack, there we go. So hold on. Are there any questions while I'm attaching here? Are there any questions? Does anyone have any questions about the folded fabric? Are you guys following along okay? Is it difficult to remember which way to do the fabric? Anything like that? Any questions, Dawn, that you can see?
Not yet. You gotta let chat catch up.
Okay, well, that's not going to work, so we will put up with... I can't believe that the settings aren't right. But anyways, so...
After yesterday, it's...
I'm not going to mess with it. It didn't work the first time.
We'll adjust another later.
Yeah. Okay, so I have my fabric ready for the next petal. So the first one is always what, Dawn? Placement and applique. So this one goes face up. And if you were looking at the design on the machine, you could see the next step is the full petal again. So that makes it easy, but isn't this fun? I think this is great, and it's so beautiful. I wanted to see this flower in the big form, so I still might do that later. I have it all set up. I just thought maybe it was big enough. I think the flower on the big one is like 6 by 6 almost, 5.5 by 5.5. And I kind of thought, you know what? That's the perfect size for a mug rug. And that's what I want to do. And you can have perfectly matching designs. Now, I didn't adjust any of Anita Gooedesign's design. I just didn't stitch some of them. So I'm just stitching the flower. So this one is folded fabric. We know that.
How do you tell that step's folded fabric?
Because the next step is a line instead of the full shape.
So it's just a line that's folded fabric.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And we know the fabric is going that way. So we know our fold has to go here and then the fabric that way. So do it in the opposite direction. So face down this way, and always make sure you have enough fabric to cover. I have more than enough, and you can move it up if you're worried about it being crooked, which I did a couple times. The nice part about folded fabric is if you go to fold it and it's not enough fabric, because I have done that, because sometimes you get some weirdio shapes, it's only one line to pick out. So now we're going to fold. We're going to fold in the direction, finger press. You could have a handy piece of tape if you wanted it. I don't mind it a little bit puffy though. I think it's great. Some people iron it, which I might do if they were bigger. Because they're smaller, I think it just increases the look. So do be careful. Don't put your fingers anywhere near it. Use an awl or a pokey thing. I don't know where my pokey thing is. So
Thank you, Beth.
thank you for what? For hello.
Donation.
Thank you very much. Awesome. Much appreciated. So the inside line, you don't have to be too picky about. The outside, you don't want it to show through. So look how fast we're getting through this. So this is the inside line because we're going to overlap it a fair amount. And like I said, I would go and maybe touch everything up trimming wise at the end. But you don't have to be too picky. You can fix it all up. So that is, so we know where, I guess it's hard to see. It's hard for me to see where everything goes. Folded fabric, so it's face down. I'm going to turn it this way, and it's the overlapped line. I don't know how well you guys can see that.
No, you can't see it very well.
No? Okay. I was hoping the white would work. Just make sure you get it on the right line. It's the overlapped one, so it's inside. There we go. Woo! Alright, I probably should have moved that up a little bit, but I made it, so we're not going to worry about it. So it's quite a fun technique, but the thing I like about it is the final result. Look at how beautiful these petals are. I just think it's amazing. And it sure is a lot easier to do than actual paper piecing. I enjoy paper piecing, but, you know, So that was a little bit close there. But it's better to have too much fabric than not enough. I contemplated doing, should I try?
What?
The petal, I think, let me try. Just let me try. This is the next one, and we know the first one is going to be appliqué. Nope, not even close. Going the wrong way. Okay, so that was dumb.
Not going to say anything.
You shouldn't. You shouldn't. I did it on one of the other ones.
I'm
is
not
what
sure
I
what
was.
you're trying to do. So.
Not trim my fabric. It was going the wrong way. It's going down, not up, is what I was thinking. I don't have my screen on the right way, so I would have seen it. So, no harm done. Look how I fixed it. Nothing ever happened, you guys. Don't know what you're talking about.
We saw nothing.
Yeah, well, it worked when I had it going the right way. But, you know, that's what you get for experimenting. It doesn't always work, people.
Leah says, nice try.
Yeah, it was a nice try. Thank you very much. Now, this is all going to be covered up. You don't have to worry. So, I mean, you don't have to fuss about it. And I'm not gonna. So, don't be frugal is the moral of the story. But I did do it on the other one, and I just did it absent-mindedly, and I thought, oh, that's perfect. No, not this time, though. So, cover everything up. Don't know what you guys thought you saw. No harm in trying different things. I mean, it's kind of... That didn't stitch. There, I can't stand not having the right screen. Okay, could you stitch? Oh, I didn't finish it, that's why. See, if I had this screen on, I would have been able to see which way the petal was going. I thought it was going that way. The other way, and it would have been fine if it was that close. So I must have done it on this one, probably. So, meh. Meh. So we got to trim this buddy out, and you will see everything's covered. So even if you're silly and try something different, it doesn't show, and you don't have to tell anyone.
Except for we all saw it.
No, saw what? What are you on about, Dawn? It was just a little experiment. I have some people see things in a different way. And my brain doesn't split these up, so I thought this was going like the one on this end, and it would have worked. Yes. But it was going this way, and I didn't have enough fabric. So, yeah, just how, because there's so much of an overlap, I guess. It would have been really cool if it worked. How's that?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're folding that way.
Just edit the replay and then nobody will know.
Could do. Could do. So we are going that way. So I have it in my brain that we're going that way. So that means we're going to put the folded fabric face down in the opposite direction of the fold. And folded fabric is no time to play fabric chicken. Like I just did, but accidentally. It doesn't really matter on this part. I mean on the folded part. Like you don't want to have this too close. You want a nice crease and you want it nice and flat. So yeah, no fabric chicken on that part. It's just not worth it. So, piece 1, appliqué. Piece 2 is folded fabric. And piece 3 is what, Don?
Folded fabric.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I got it right.
Yeah. Easy peasy, though. But I think the keys to it for me, because I am doing more than one of these, is just having my pieces cut. Bonk. That's why I don't do this. Having my pieces cut so I don't have to worry that much about placement. So everything, all my pieces are pre-cut. And this was a little messy here, but I'll trim it up before we do any of the satin stitches. So you said folded fabric, Don?
Yes.
So we know
it's a line.
we know we're folding this way. So we want to put our fabric face down in the opposite direction that it's going. So yes, and the next step is a line. I can see that. Beautiful. So this petal is what I thought was stitching out. I had the wrong screen up. If I had this screen up that I have now on my machine, I would have seen by the shape of it. Just saying. But it would have worked. There we go. Beautiful. I didn't even hold that one down. See, it got a little bit puffy, but I love it. I will trim that out after. We are on our last flower. So I'm going to grab 2 purples and 1 flower pattern. And we are going to do, the first one is applique. So we're going to do the placement. What did you say? Placement. So, applique placement. And make sure everything is covered. No time for chicken, especially at this point. I still have my Valentine's nails. Did you notice that, Dawn? The hot pink.
Very pretty.
Thank you. I like them. Alright, for this one we're going to go back to the desk. We've only got 2 more pieces to do, so I am going to go back to the desk because I've been a little lazy on my trimming because I'm trimming them at the hoop. So let me trim this one and the other one and then show you where I would tidy up the trimming. So I'm not going to worry too much about this inside line because we know we overlap. It's the outside ones we worry about. Perfect. And this is an outside one, so I want to do it nicely for sure. Actually, they're not too bad.
No, it doesn't look too bad.
No, but there's a couple spots that were a little awkward to reach because I didn't move the hoop around. So I'm just going to trim them up. I just don't want them to show through in the end. Just be careful you don't cut the thread for some reason. So I'm happy with that. That actually wasn't much. Look at Judy Quilt. Dust, 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 dust. There's a lot of little threads on it. Okay, back to the machine. It is beautiful. So now we are going to do, the next one is the flowers. I love how the yellow looks with this flowered fabric. So that is the placement. Our next step is a line. And we know it's folding that way. So we want to place it face down in the opposite direction that we're going to fold it, and stitch our line, which is our fold line. And if you have this much fabric, I put it far this way. You don't have to worry about it. You could trim it if you wanted to, but I wouldn't recommend it. I still have more than enough. It kind of gives it a little bit of a puff on it, that extra fabric. A little bit of tension on the fabric to hold it down, but you really can't tell. I try not to do mine like that, but it happens. And especially on the middle one, I don't mind at all. at all, at all. So there we go. Let's give this a quick trim. Gonna be careful around the outside. You okay over there?
Maybe.
So what do you think of folded fabric, Don?
I think it's a really cool technique. I actually like it.
I think, yeah, it's kind of fun to do. It's not fun. It's different, but the results are so worth it. For sure. Now I'm going to fix up this part after. I'm not going to worry about it right now. And then, here we go. This is also folded fabric. So there is a lot of little trimming to do, but half of it doesn't have to be perfect, so it makes it a whole lot easier, believe it or not. So there we go. Opposite direction. That's how you can figure it out if you're doing any kind of folded fabric. Place the fabric down in the opposite direction to how you're folding it. Do your little dance there, buddy. Fold it over. Oh, it looks so pretty.
Lorelai says no picking out all the silly paper.
The silly paper?
Paper piecing without paper, so you don't pick.
Oh, yeah, I found that very satisfying, although slightly time consuming, and what a mess. I think Beetlejuice had a party for sure with all the pieces. Yeah, but I found it very satisfying because I was, done for sure. So, a lot of people hate that part of paper piecing, but they do love the perfectness of it, because all the points are pointy and in the right spot, and that's really kind of difficult to do in normal quilting. So we have one more applique to do, and then the rest is stitching, so you kind of get a little bit of a break after this. So this is where I'm gonna fussy place, because I only want the red, so it'll bring out the red in the flowers. Some of them show more than others. So, but if I got a little bit of yellow, we could almost put, do you think it's worth trying? The yellow flower? Nah, I'll stick to what I'm doing. Yeah. I wanted the exact same red that it was designed for. So, slightly off, but that's okay because the satin stitches will cover it up. Boop, boop, boop. All right. Back to the desk, Dawn. And I'm just going to trim this out. And remember, there will be satin stitches. But any of the messy cutting that I left in the center is now covered up. And you can't see any mistakes. Anything that's just, slightly off or anything like that. Because it's all covered up now. Isn't that pretty? I like them with a little bit of puff like that. But some people don't. So
Susan Williams says she loves the pink and yellow flowers.
Yeah, I just thought it was really cute. It caught my attention. And the fact that the purple matches the background so perfectly, I was just like, wow, just rock and roll with it. So, look what we did today. Beautiful. Look what we did. So the next step it's going to do, I used yellow for the outside and then yellow for the outside of here. And then it goes all the way around each flower to cover up our edges. And then it does all the leaves. And it's just plain stitching. Lorelai says, wow, the camera is amazing. I'm able to see how close you trim. Very helpful. I seem to be cutting too close on my stuff. It's good to see it firsthand.
I cut my stuff too close too.
Oh, do ya?
Sometimes, yeah. And then you trip that. tack down stitch and then it doesn't hold right. It takes practice.
It's
I'm
because
slowly getting better.
I know that I've got a little bit of leeway because of the satin stitches. Now these aren't
Just wait.
really huge satin stitches, but it will cover this up. I think if you had any parts longer than this, that it would show. Like on some of them I have a corner that I would trim off because it might show and we don't want it. But yeah, that's how I do the trimming. Not too close, not too much fabric. It's just trial and error and habit. You have a tank.
Something going on over here.
Don smooching a tank. Jeez.
He's being good.
So I hope you guys will try this folded fabric. I'm going to keep stitching today. These leaves take a long time. Here's the greens that I picked. So that green for there. And like 2 shades lighter for the rest of it. And you can see how beautiful the yellow looks. I love it.
I love how on the leaves the stitching is 2 different angles, so it gives it
Yep.
that 3D look.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what I was just going to say next. On these leaves here, that it's one color, but the way they stitched it with different angles, it looks like one side's darker than the other.
Go to the needle cam.
Needle cam?
Yeah, because then we might be able to see the actual stitch directions better. There. Yeah.
So, for example, this one, the way I've got it, you can see that it is one thread color, but it does look different, and it's because the angles are different, and that is really good attention to detail. I love doing that. Yeah, see? And then I moved it, and this one now looks darker.
Yeah, they switch.
Isn't that cool?
It's very nice.
But you can see all the detail. All the detail. Oh, doesn't that look good?
Oh,
now
yeah.
you guys can really see the colors better without the...
Sometimes the light of the machine adds and kind of blows.
you know I
things
can
up.
turn the lights down, right?
Oh, no. I didn't
Oh.
think of that. Yeah, actually, yeah, I know you can, but I didn't think of it. I forgot. Yeah, that might help.
But now you can see the colors in their true form. So see how that red brings out the little red flowers? And then the yellow goes with, you can, if you look at the yellow, you see the yellow flowers like this. And then the background. Isn't that something? Oh, I did purple around the, I forgot, sorry. Purple around the flowers. Background,
Nice.
and then, yeah, all the same thing. But isn't that an amazing effect on the leaves?
Yes, it is.
And yes, now you guys can get a really good view of it. What about this one? Would this be a good view too? This is what we used to do. Can you switch?
I can switch like that.
That's pretty good too. That's pretty good. And you can still see the two.
A little wave in the background. Hey.
Where? Wave. He's just right there. So beautiful. So beautiful. All right, back to the desk. So I do have some stitching to do. I am going to think about doing this for another set because I got to get one more color in there. But I think that would be gorgeous. I need the pink.
Can you put the blocks together to show a circle so we can see what it would look like?
I will. I don't have 4.
Oh, I thought she was meaning like now. Just kind of.
Yeah, no, I will. I'll be sewing them together, and once I get the sewing universe built, that's what I'll be doing, showing you guys all the final stuff. Oh yeah, the camera.
I can't wait for the sewing verse.
The camera for the face cam for Captain Jack looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Yes, so I'll be all the projects that we're doing. I'm going to switch over to the sewing verse to show you guys how I put them together. And for this one, it'll be the different ways that you could decide to put them together, which is cool. There's options. So yes, the answer is yes. I'll be showing you guys everything. So if you have any questions, head on over to the OML Embroidery University Facebook group, and we'd be happy to help you with any questions about folded fabric, paper piecing, the whole bit. It's really a lot of fun, and that wasn't hard to do at all, but look at the stunning results. It's amazing. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope you guys like this technique. I hope you guys have fun using this technique. Pick your colors. I tell you how I pick my fabrics, my threads, the designs, the whole bit. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye everyone.
Bye.
Happy stitching.